Hello guys and welcome back to today's episode. Now unfortunately, me being the absolute idiot that I am, I forgot to record my mic for this episode and half of the next one. But as you guys see, we're just sorting out some stuff from Foreshore here, and we also got an email saying that Strike is injured for 4 weeks. Fortunately for us, he's not our starting defender, but we decided to drop Cooper out anyway and play Cock, because we've been having a bit of a defensive war, you know, Everton scoring in the last minute and so on, and I just thought, you know, we need to put Cock's obviously going to be a better player, and we need to put him in. He's young, he's going to improve over the years, so I thought, you know, let's do it. I was having a look here just to see what ratings the players were, see if we needed anyone to improve, you know, stuff like that, and seeing who we had out on loan and seeing if we need to loan anyone out, seeing people's price tags and just seeing how expensive they were and seeing if we needed to, you know, offload some people to try and get some better players in, because I am well aware that we need to upgrade the defence, especially after the last couple of episodes. But the centre-backs are looking alright. We need to really work on that right-back position at the moment, I think. But we do have Burnley for the first game of the day, so I think we're going to skip to that and we're going to do the Burnley game. I think we should see what starting lineups the Burnley have. Here we are. So the starting lineup for Burnley is Nick Pope, fantastic keeper. You know, Burnley have a really strong defence. Charlie Taylor used to play for Leeds as a left back, and I think Burnley bought him from Leeds. Chris Wood, also a former Leeds player, scored 30 plus goals for them, for Leeds in the Championship a couple of years ago. He's from New Zealand. I think he was like 20 million or something like that. But I think at this point in the video, everyone was talking. They were like, yeah, you can hear them. They were like, yep. And I was like, oh, they actually talk to each other. That's kind of cool. But this is the Leeds starting 11. 4-1-3-1-1. I don't understand why 4-1-4-1 has such like a broken formation animation on the screen. Like it should be 4-1-4-1 instead of 4-1-3-1-1. But it has it this way. But you will find that this Burnley game as well it's quite, you know, it's a typical Burnley game. It's quite negative football. There's not many chances. So there's only a single goal in it. But as you can see, Burnley break down. Cork coming in, passing the ball to Westwood, and Westwood's passed it back to McNeil. He turns and shoots. Good deflection by Llorente, who you will see comes in clutch on several occasions. Phillips is going to whack the ball out wide to Rafinha here as Rafinha runs down the side. And Rafinha's through on goal here, and he's going to shoot, and is Rafinha going to miss? Yes! Pope with a fantastic save, and I'll tell you something, the keepers on this game are absolutely incredible. But we transition down here to Goodmanson. Sorry about the screen lag, guys, it's just unfortunate that's happening. But we've got Wood here. Wood makes a through ball attempt, and Meslier makes a fantastic interception. As he throws it out to Rafinha, Rafinha passes it down the line to Rodrigo. Rodrigo down the line to Bamford. Bamford did pick up a knock. Luckily for us, it was only for 5 days in this, but he passes it back to Click, and Click in terrific fashion goes for his speciality, finesse shot outside of the box, straight into the back of the net. He scored this goal for Leeds so many times, and honestly, when it goes in, it's something special. Click is one of them people that scores either wonder goals or he doesn't score any goals, and you know, I mean, that's just the way that it is. Honestly, he missed an opportunity against West Ham last week that he should have really put away, in my opinion. But against Burnley here, he's going to put this one in the back of the net. Honestly, he's got one of the best right foots outside the box in the Prem, in my opinion, on his day. That's pretty much all that happened in this. It was just a lot of backwards and forwards play here. You know, it was just like nothing really happening. Burnley were just solid in defence, and we were just solid as well. They had their opportunities where they'd break in, but then they just never got a shot off because it was always deflected by the keeper. The stats were really non-existent in this game, but we were just lucky to get that goal from Click. Obviously here, you know, Click 2 shots, 1 goal, and you saw one of them. But here we are anyway. We were looking at some transfers because I realised, you know, we've got a bit of a lack of depth in midfield. So I thought to myself, we need to get a box-to-box midfielder. Try and look for someone who's going to run backwards and forwards. You know, someone who's going to hold that midfield spot where Dallas and Click are, because they are both 30 years old. So we'll get a central mid, and we were also looking at an attacking mid as well. Try and get someone who's got a bit of flair about them, who can take a free kick, who can, you know, just create stuff, sort of playmaker. And we didn't want them to be too old, we wanted them to be quite young, just so we could have a couple of years with them to try and get the squad going. Obviously we're already looking at that right back position or that left back position. I think Firpo should be alright for now though, but we're definitely looking to improve it all as we go along. But here we're looking at people like, you know, Takahiro Tomiyasu. I was thinking about Hector Bellerin, but I thought to myself, no, I don't think it's realistic. I don't think Leeds would pick him up. I don't think he's better than Ayling. I think Ayling, when he's 34, will be better than Hector Bellerin. I know someone mentioned in the comments about Nuno Mendes, and I'm going to bring that up in a couple episodes because I'm a few episodes in front here. But here we are, and I'm looking for a pacey. I didn't have it set as pacey. I also thought about Mbabu because obviously an Ultimate Team is quite broken at the moment. And here we are. I was thinking about Todd Cantwell because Leeds were actually looking at him a couple of years ago. Eberechi Eze is a fantastic player as well. And yeah, there was no one else really here. I mean, that really interested us. Miguel Almiron, sorry. I thought that he'd interest Bielsa simply because him and Haidara, because when Miguel Almiron played against Man United, he was running and running, so I thought I'd put him into the list and see what his rating was. And then also this guy's from Leipzig, Haidara, and also Zoboszlai, I think is how you pronounce his name, because he's young and he looks like he could be quite good and quite dangerous, and might be interested in picking him up in the January transfer window, as well as Haidara, because he looks like a bit of a box-to-box midfielder, in my opinion. He's got decent stats all around. He's young, 23, and he's not a bad player. So these are the three real things that I was looking for, people that I was looking at the midfield at the moment. But I believe we've got Liverpool in the next game, if I'm not mistaken. And Liverpool game was a really irritating game. Honestly, it was one of them games where I felt like we should have won it, and it was, there is a standout player in this game, and you will see it. And honestly, it makes you realise, like, this player. No wonder Liverpool are so good when they've got this player in the team, and that's all I'll say. So here we are, the Leeds lineup. We decided to go with the 4-2-3-1, change it up a little bit, because I thought that the formation was just, it wasn't feeling too good for me at the moment, and I thought I'd try something different, trying a different formation with a bit more defensive stature in midfield, and having someone who can actually play that cam role. Alisson in net, obviously we're playing that 4-3-3 with Matip and the standard defence that they run. No Gomez or Kouyaté, but they have a Fabinho and Thiago. Wijnaldum obviously left them now, but they have players like Naby Keita, Divock Origi and Jota on the bench, and Minamino, who also I might be interested in getting. But obviously Aylan running down the right side here. We're going to through ball it down the line to Rafinha. Rafinha runs in, and you can see Bamford is in a heap of space, so he passes it through to Bamford. Bamford one-on-one with the keeper, and Alisson makes a fantastic save there. Nothing you can do about that when the keeper's on his heyday. Makes a fantastic save. Here you got Fabinho passing it to Roberto Firmino. Roberto Firmino with an outside the box shot. Meslier coming back with a save of his own, showing Alisson the young guns can do it as well. Liverpool had this thing where they did loads of small corners and they just did loads of short passes. But Aylan, here we go, making a nice little tackle here, but it goes back to Salah anyway. And then we win the ball back with Harrison, but Harrison loses it again to Henderson. Henderson passes it to Salah, Salah to Thiago. Firmino gets the ball. Firmino goes for the back heel, turns past the player, Thiago turns, Thiago shoots, Meslier, easy enough to collect it for him. And then over the ball goes to Rafinha, we're running down the line, Rafinha using his pace, obviously it's going to be very difficult to get past Van Dijk. Van Dijk passes it back to the keeper and Alisson panics here. And this is the part where it's dangerous. Leeds are on the attack. Leeds get the ball, or they should have got the ball, but Dallas gets it back. Rodrigo turns, Rodrigo comes across, Rodrigo shoots across the net, and Alisson makes the save of the century, keeping Liverpool in the 0-0 game. I believe that any keeper on the planet, this would have been a difficult save, and he gets a fingertip to it and saves it. We cross it in. Bamford goes for the header, misses it. Dallas passes it back. Rafinha's got the ball. Rafinha's going to run outside. He's going to pass it down the line, is it? No, he's going to turn. Going to keep possession of the ball. He's going to run, keep running, pass it to Rodrigo. Rodrigo's going to turn and shoot. Alisson makes another save. And there we are. I think we're in the second half now, if I'm not mistaken. So we've got Naby Keita on the ball. We win possession. Phillips makes a fantastic interception. Phillips is running. They're giving him off too much space. This is what Phillips did against Croatia in the Euros. They're giving too much space. He cuts on the outside. He goes for the finesse shot outside the box, and he just goes on the outside of the post. Phillips showing that he's no mug and he can dribble and shoot his own, and he can do it all himself if he needs to. That's why you don't give the man shape. I think it was they took off Van Dijk, so it made it a little bit easier for us. But here we got Firmino over the top ball to Salah, and this is always going to be dangerous for when Liverpool are on the over the top offensive against you. And here we go, Firmino, Henderson, Llorente makes a massive mistake, and Firmino. This is maybe the third shot Liverpool have had all game, and they get a shot in, and it's devastating. But anyway, we're going to header it out here. Klick's got the ball, and we're on the counter-attack here, and we think to ourselves, what can we do? Through ball, through the middle to Rodrigo. You'd put your house on him to score here. He shoots, and Alisson makes another fantastic save. I think you guys are starting to see who the standout player was for this game. We've got Rafinha running down the right side. using his pace. Obviously, he's going to outpace Gomez. You see Dan James down the middle. If he can get that ball across, no, he can't. A fantastic interception by the defender. Keita runs it out. Keita passes it down. Back to Bobby Firmino. Firmino passes it up to Keita, and Keita down to Mane. And Llorente makes a fantastic interception again. Back to Rafinha. Back to Roberts. Rafinha's running down the line, but Rodrigo's also running down the line. Rodrigo slows it down, takes it to his right foot, passes it to Roberts, and Alisson makes another save. What does it take to get past this man? At this point, it should be 4-1 to Leeds. So then we cross it in and go for a header. Rodrigo has a header, knocks it in, and Alisson makes another save. At this point, you must be thinking, my morale is down. How the hell are Leeds going to score here? So we do the impossible. We cross it back in. We pass it to Roberts. Roberts shoots, and Alisson makes another save. I don't understand, honestly. I don't think any other keeper would have saved all this, but this man was on a mission. Liverpool are top of the league, remember. So here we are, Phillips crosses it in again, and Cooper goes for a header and a nice clearance to the edge of the box. Now Roberts has got it, Click's got it. Click passes it back to Roberts. Roberts down to Phillips. Phillips is going to pass it in. And he's going to get the ball in, and Alisson dives out and gets the ball. Honestly, this keeper was on something else this game. And I'm just going to show you the stats here, guys. We were projected to have 6 goals, and they were projected to have 3. We had 11 shots and 9 on target, and he made 9 saves. And none of them were, long distance. If you look at if you look at where the shots were that I showed you in the game, they were literally everywhere. The man got a 10.0 rating. When do you see someone get a 10.0 rating as a keeper? It's very rare. Look at all the saves. They're not in the middle of the net anywhere. It was honestly, it was Bamford was happy to be played that game because he was injured, but at that point as well, it was quite catastrophic. I mean, at this point, I decided to switch the formation though, because I thought, you know what, we played ridiculous that game. If we can actually play that formation and start doing well, we'll start winning most games, in my opinion. Because not every team's going to have an Alisson in the net, but at that point they did. So it was quite, I don't even know how to say it, but it was just. I was at this point, I was kind of bewildered and shocked to say, what in the world was that? Was he on? Can we drug test him, please? Because he was just, insane. So we look at Todd Cannell. He's a left mid. We'd probably move him to a centre mid if we had the opportunity, because we don't really need left mids and right mids. But that's really, he's a sort of attacking minded player, so it's something that we'd have a look at. Miguel Almiron, he was quite fast and he interested me, so we'll see what happens in the January transfer window. He's definitely on there for a reason. We're also looking at this Haidara and Zoboslai, and Haidara looks really good, 78 rated. Overall stats are quite nice, good attacking composure and attacking positioning, and composure, and he's got good dribbling and ball control, and he's got decent defending, 66, not terrible. And then Zoboslai is only 20 and he's 77 rated, so this might be a little gem to pick up, to pick and put into the midfield if we can possibly get him, if I can get my words out. And then yeah, so anyway, we're into the Newcastle game now straight away, and we pass the ball down the line immediately and we get a goal straight away. This game started off fantastic for us, I won't lie. It was the Rafa Rodrigo connection. Them two, in real life, if you know, they literally are two players that when they play well, they're unstoppable. They can just get past any team, in a passing play. It's fantastic. I think I accidentally deleted the sequence to show the teams, so I couldn't get into this one straight away. And I deleted the actual video because I'm a bit of an idiot, but as you can see, we score a little bit of a sweat straight away, but it's not realistic football. Anyway, we've got Firpo down the line, and we're going to try and mimic doing the same thing with Harrison here. We're going to have Harrison run down the line, Harrison use his pace to beat Manquillo, which he does, uses his agility, uses his balance to get past him. At this point, he passes it back, does a fake shot, gets lucky here, to the point where it goes back out to Rodrigo. Rodrigo passes it to Rafinha. Rafinha first tap straight in the top corner. This game could not have got off to a better start for us, guys. I mean, the Rafa Rodrigo connection coming in large. In my opinion, Rafinha's been an absolutely outstanding player for us in real life, and he's seeming to be a gem in this game so far. As you can see, though, Click gets a nice little touch. Rodrigo sees Rafinha. Boom. There's a rocket. I don't even think Alisson would have saved that, but after the last game, you never know. Do you know what I mean? So, anyway, Rafinha blasts that into the moon. Anyway, we've got Rodrigo on the offensive here, and an interception gets played And the ball goes back to Newcastle. Gale's on the ball here, and I was describing how Gale scored a back heel against Leeds when they beat us 4-1 and we beat them 4-0 that season. And Gale's always been a sort of bogey player for us, against us. And I was saying, let's hope he can't do it to us here. And lo and behold, we pass the ball to Llorente. Llorente gets the ball out of play, and it's a Leeds throw, and I'm like, well, okay, we're all right here. We pass the ball back to Firpo, and I want to square it across to Whalen here. And Firpo does the softest touch ever, and it goes to Gale, and bang, 2-1 Newcastle are back in the game. At this point, it was squeaky bum time. I'm not even going to lie. At this point, Newcastle, I know we were playing well, we were playing football, we should have been 3-4 up by then, and we were proper dominating the game. We give Newcastle a cheap goal by a terrible pass by Firpo. To be fair, if he was playing on the other team, it would have been a fantastic pass. So it was squeaky bump time at this point. We tried playing, we didn't know what to do. We were playing a little bit negative football, to be honest. And obviously you see us kick off here with Harrison. And he's passing it around. He passes the ball away and we lose it straight away. And at this point I'm like, oh no. But unfortunately we get the ball back and Harrison loses it again. And at this point I'm like, oh God, what do I do? What do I do here? And Wilson gets the ball, and he threw balls into Gale, and Gale down the line to Willock, and Willock crosses it, Melia comes out, and he's 2-2. It was, honestly. Almiron scored against us as well, the player we were just looking at, and, you know, he looks like a Ninja Turtle, like a bit like a thingy, but, you know, it was a bit scary. Obviously, this was like the only couple, believe it or not, this was the last thing that happened, because I put it to defensive after this. I was like, you know, I'm kind of scared they're going to get a break on us here. We needed half time, and pretty much that's all we got, so that's pretty much all that happened in this Newcastle game. I think this is the last chance that happened. Bamford came in, and this shot sums up the game. Bamford hits it and hits it over the crossbar. And honestly, you know, at that point you think to yourself, maybe I should have, you know, just gone balls to the wall and tried to win in. But yeah, as I was saying here, we've got West Ham in the next game, and we've got Watford. Watford, the game that we just had last Saturday, which was a Llorente kick that went in. But you know, we need to really do well. So thank you guys for watching anyway, and I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. And yeah, leave a like, subscribe and all that good stuff, and ta-ra.